So this is our last unit, our last lecture for Unit 5 on the muscular system. We're going to talk a little bit about some homeostatic imbalances that affect the muscular system through muscle diseases. So the first series of muscle diseases that I want to discuss are the muscular dystrophies, which are called MD. We've already discussed how our muscle is protein, and the proteins that make them up are myosin, actin, tropomyosin, and troponin. However, what happens is an individual who has one of the muscular dystrophies, there is a mutation within their genes. And if you'll remember back to biology, we make our proteins based on our DNA. So if you have a mutation in your DNA, that means that you have a mutated protein, and that protein is defective. Okay? So the muscular dystrophies are all mutations that are caused by a gene that is coded for the protein called dystrophin. So the first muscular dystrophy that I want to discuss is called DMD. So DMD is caused when there is no dystrophin synthesized, meaning that you don't make any of this particular protein, and it results in a very, very severe form of this muscular dystrophy. This is a sex-linked recessive trait, which means that it is passed from the mother, and males get it because they have the one X chromosome that is defective, and so therefore they develop DMD. It's found in 1 out of every 3,500 births, and that number is kind of skewed because now as science increases and becomes more advanced, we find that a lot of people are able to do genetic screening, and if they know this is something that they could potentially pass down to their children, they are less likely to maybe have a child naturally, or they're going to take some type of precaution to maybe limit the amount or limit the percentage of having a child with DMD. So basically what happens with DMD is you begin to lose all muscle control. So as the child ages, their muscles in their body begin to contract less effectively, and then over time they just stop contracting until it eventually affects things like the diaphragm, which causes breathing, and then the heart, of course, which is going to pump your blood through your body. And so it can be an extremely devastating disease when a child is diagnosed with DMD. Now, there are other MDs, one of which is Becker muscular dystrophy. This particular muscular dystrophy called BMD, you do make some dystrophin, it's just shortened. So what happens is that you have weakening in areas of the body, but your muscles can still contract like they're supposed to. They just may not contract as effectively or as efficiently. So you get a very mild form of the disease. Another muscle disorder, not an MD, this is a separate one, is called myasthenia gravis. We will talk about this one later on as well, but this is an autoimmune disorder. An autoimmune disorder is basically when your immune system attacks your body. So in this case, an individual, you're not born with this. This is not genetic. This is it's not passed down through your genes. What happens is your body just decides that it wants to attack a certain area of your body. So for myasthenia gravis, what happens is it affects your neuromuscular junctions. So what happens is you can't contract muscles where you need to. And so because of that, it makes muscles weak or basically inefficient or inactive in parts of the body. This could be dangerous for an individual who has MG if the part of the body that's affected is your diaphragm, because you can't breathe. And it wouldn't matter if you're doing CPR, things like that, they would have to be intubated. So MG could be devastating for an individual. But there are medications that are used for people with MG to help compensate for the loss of muscle control, and also to prevent the progression of MG. So basically, it reduces the attacks of MG. Cardiac myopathies is another muscular disorder that we see. And of course, seeing cardiac, we know it's going to affect the heart. So basically with this one is you have a mutation in your genetics that causes your cardiac muscle to be altered. So your muscles in your heart don't pump effectively. Well, because your heart is having to work harder, it's like any other muscle in the body, it gets bigger. And you would think, well, oh, bigger heart is better, but that's not true because the bigger your heart is, the less efficient that machine will be. And so it can lead to weakening of the heart. And some individuals who have cardiac myopathies, it may be caught when they go in for some type of screen for something else. But a lot of times cardiac myopathies are not caught until an individual who is very healthy, very active, all of a sudden has heart failure. And when going in and looking at their heart, they realized that they had a weakened area that was due to their genetics. So this wraps it up for Unit 5, the muscular system. I do hope that you'll go back and rewatch the other videos. You'll study your note guides. You'll go through the PowerPoint in preparation for your Unit 5 test. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I will see you later.